To understand the narcissist, you need to understand what the narcissist supply is. The narcissist supply is the fuel that keeps them going and gives them the energy and resources to continue to be abusive, controlling, and manipulative. If the narcissist has no supply available for them to use, they will quite literally fall apart, and this is when you will see the narcissist collapse. Today I will discuss types of narcissistic supply and why having a full supply tank is required for the narcissist, but also detrimental to the people the narcissist interacts with. But first, I'm Dr. Emily Mayfield, a licensed psychologist. Thank you for watching this video and being a part of the Mindset Therapy family. Let's start with a review of what narcissist supply is. I will touch on this very briefly because I have other videos where I discuss what narcissist supply is in more detail. Narcissist supply is the validation that narcissists receive from others. The narcissist has a fragile ego and low self-esteem, which means they don't have the capability to make themselves feel better and feel confident in their own abilities. While they want people to think they're flawless and know how to manage the world, they're actually flawed just like any other human. But they would never want you to know this because then they would have to recognize this in themselves. Seeing themselves as flawed would lead to intense feelings of shame, which they then can't manage due to their fragile ego, and they fall apart. So they do everything they can to not have to experience shame. Their protection against feeling shame and never having to look inward to see their flaws comes from their narcissistic supply reserves. Their narcissistic supply tank is a sort of buffer they can use when interacting in a world they feel out of control in. Their supply tank is always running out, so it must always be refilled. The ways in which the narcissist refills their supply is dependent on what the narcissist has available at that time and what they think will work for them. I will review some of the types of narcissistic supply the narcissist has. The 3 types of narcissistic supply include primary sources, secondary sources, and negative narcissistic supply. Ideally, the narcissist would have each of these supply sources readily available. The more supply sources they have, the less likely it is they will have to look inward at their own flaws, and this allows them to avoid narcissistic injury and narcissistic collapse. A primary source of narcissistic supply is the people who provide the most consistent source of supply for the narcissist. This includes the people they would have the most control over and can more easily manipulate and use as needed. The primary source of supply will always be the narcissist's go-to person when they start to run low on supply in their reserve tanks. The secondary sources of supply are those people whom the narcissist can't constantly rely on, but they still serve a role as someone the narcissist can use when needed. The narcissist will always try to keep as many people as possible in the secondary supply source role because this ensures they never have to risk not having someone available who can help them during those times in which they have experienced a narcissistic injury. The secondary sources are often indirectly involved with the narcissist and maybe someone in the community who views the narcissist as successful and helps boost the narcissist's ego through their positive perception of the narcissist. The last type of supply source for the narcissist is the negative narcissistic supply. This supply source is different from the others because this is when the narcissist likes to see drama, chaos, and others hurting because it helps them maintain their inflated sense of self-importance and maintain a sense of control over others. The narcissist likes to put others down and see how they hurt from the words the narcissist uses against them. Seeing others in pain because of their actions makes the narcissist feel better about themselves and boost their ego. The supply received in the primary and secondary types is the words of affirmation the narcissist hears and anything that confirms their belief that they are superior. For the negative narcissistic supply, the supply comes from your negative emotions and pain the narcissist has inflicted on you. When they name call, belittle, rage, and use any of their other narcissistic punishment tactics, and their victim defends himself, gets angry, or shows any other emotions that displays the narcissist has hurt them, this makes the narcissist feel good, and this helps to boost their narcissistic supply. As you can see, anyone can serve as a source of supply for the narcissist. Whether they support the narcissist's delusional beliefs about their abilities or defend themselves against the narcissist's accusations and gaslighting, they are each beneficial to the narcissist. The narcissist needs a large variety of supply sources so that no matter the circumstances, they can use their supply sources to boost their own narcissistic ego. A full supply tank is dangerous for those around the narcissist. With a full supply tank, the narcissist can more easily demonstrate their narcissistic traits and be controlling and manipulative. However, draining supply source is also dangerous for those around the narcissist because as the narcissist no longer has their one and only protection against the world around them, they become mean and brutal in their words and actions. The supply is a narcissist's one and only way to manage the world they live in, and they will use and abuse whoever they need to in order to maintain a full supply tank. The narcissist will always look out for themselves and never consider how their actions could hurt someone else. To learn more about whether narcissists always need supply, click on the video in the corner, or you can find the link in the description below. See you at the next video.